a disappointing finish. Real frustrating game in that, man, we had a lot of opportunities, I felt, especially in the first half. Offensively, we struggled. Tip our hats to New England. We fought back in it, and yet, I said to the team there were 6 or 7 different situations in that game that any one of those play out a little differently, but unfortunately they didn't, and our margin for error right now isn't what it needs to be, and we end up on the losing end of the game. So any questions?
Yeah, Sean, just let's go back to the very first and goal opportunity at the 6. You go for it on 4th down instead of taking the field goal there. What was your thought there?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like 2 things. I felt confident where we were relative to field position. Felt confident in a couple plays. And, normally I would say, especially early, I'd probably kick the field goal, but I felt pretty good if we didn't get it where we had them backed up. Now, hindsight, but it was really more about me feeling like we had 2 or 3 good opportunities relative to the plays we were wanting to run. So it was really that.
Coach, what changed offensively in the fourth quarter that was working? And it seemed like you had confidence in wanting to get the ball back to try to score.
Well, we certainly did. I mean, look, the advantage we had towards the end were the timeouts. And so, we got zero blitzed a few times. They got us to 3rd down. We had to punt it. And then, we still had the ability to stop the clock. I mean, we felt like we'd get the stop. We weren't able to, and then all of a sudden the script flipped, and that's one of those 7 or 8 things I was discussing. So, disappointing finish. Credit them. They made the plays they needed to, and we weren't able to.
Yeah, on the 3 and out at the end. Obviously, when you go -3 on 1st down, does your thought process change at all?
Oh well. We're not throwing caution into the wind, but you're still looking for. We kind of had some momentum throwing the ball, and we were giving Russ time protection-wise. So we were going to be smart, but we weren't going to be careless with it. Let's just say that.
Coach, in the first 3 quarters, specifically the first half, a lot of passes to running backs and tight ends. Why was that? Was that because Courtland went out?
That's a good question. I think they played a little bit more zone tonight than we expected. Weeks past. I mean, they do a great job in a number of coverage looks. So some of that, I think, would be a result of what we were getting coverage-wise. I just thought the protection was okay. I mean, we were under duress, so sometimes you're looking for an outlet. But until I see the film, it'd be hard to say.
Coach, with Mims on the kick return, I know obviously he's had such success as a rookie. I guess what's the conversation when he comes over? I mean,
look, I don't know that there needs to be a conversation. I just think ultimately we lost the turnover battle, and that's how you end up losing a game. And I mentioned that at the beginning. Our margin for error when we played well. We've been turnover free and we've taken it away. And look, defensively, first play of the game, but we lost it tonight, and I'm sure that we'll look back on it, and certainly that played a part of it. Not any one, but just in general.
Coach, you've had some issues in the 3rd quarter this year. Was there anything they did differently defensively in specifically the entire 3rd?
Look, I felt we ran it pretty well in the first half. I was disappointed how we ran it in the second half. And so we'll look at the tape and kind of see where we feel like, it went wrong. But overall, it wasn't good enough offensively, and that needs to be better.
John, you're right.
Yeah.
First, is Courtland officially in the protocol, and what impact did that have when he lost again?
I think, look, anytime you lose a good player like that, but he is in the protocol. I think it happened early in the game, and then there's a couple of adjustments we make, and then you go play. Knock on wood, we've been healthy. It was the first time something like that happened, and Brandon came in. He his pitch count went up. Then obviously Jerry and Mims and Jordan Humphrey. So you adjust on the fly.
Just the effort clearly early in the game to get Jaleel more involved. What went into that?
That was part of the plan with this defense that we were seeing. It's more of a heavy front, and we felt part of the plan was trying to get him on the perimeter and get him in space. And I think he did a pretty good job when we were able to do that. So it was part of the game plan going in.
Coach, how would you assess Russ's play today?
Look, I was proud of how he battled, especially when we're down 2 touchdowns. And, man, he's fighting and gets us back in it. And it's difficult to do. And yet, and he did it, and I would say in a pretty timely fashion.
Sean, because of how still jumbled this playoff picture is, I guess, does it change your approach at all coming off, or what?
Yeah,
changes?
Look, we're not going to insert the Jim Mora playoffs press conference. I think I told these guys I told them I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed for them. I'm sure they are too. And tomorrow you got to spend time, enjoy Christmas with your families, and Tuesday, and then we got to come back to work Wednesday, and we got to focus on winning a game. We had a home game today, an opportunity to keep going, and we didn't take advantage of it, but we got the next opportunity next week, and we kind of go from there. All right, thank you guys. Merry Christmas.